Three baits, fall transition.
You know that I run it. Everything you wanna do, I already done it. And I got your little boo telling me she love me. I got this one, that one. Damn, it's gonna be a long night. Yeah. You know. I said, damn, it's gonna be a long night. Yeah, let's go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's tough out there, guys, I know. But these three lures that I'm going to share with you, probably no secret to a lot of people, but fishing them properly and in the right areas is what's going to be the key to y'all's success right now. Fall transition can be tough. A lot of people don't know this. Fall transition started a while ago. These fish are pretty far along, but not really following what I like them to do this time of the year. So we've kind of had to switch it up for where we're at right now, and this is what's been working. I'm going to start it off with the good old trap. This is a red-eye shad, 1/2 ounce. The 1/2 ounce profile is what you need to be throwing. It's going to get you bit more, and you're going to catch some quality fish on it too. I'm throwing this bait around sparse cover, eelgrass, peppergrass if it's thin enough, shell, and even if I get around some brush piles, I'll throw it on the edges too. But pretty much we're keeping this deal around grass and shell. If I'm fishing the shell, I'm casting it out there, I'm letting it hit the bottom, and I'm grinding this thing like a crankbait. When I say grinding, I'm not burning it. We're reeling it just fast enough for this thing, this nose of this bait, to be digging into that shell all the way back to the boat. And they'll come up and they will suck that thing down. If I'm around the scattered grass, same thing, casting it out there, but we're reeling it just fast enough to where it's going to come through that grass, get bound up a little bit, and you can rip it, and that's when you're going to get that bite. As soon as you rip it out, wham, they're going to friggin' smoke that thing. Fishing it down Kissimmee grass edges, we'll yo-yo it, we'll slow roll it, we'll burn it, you know. We just do what us fishermen do. You just change it up all day long. If you're fishing it over thick grass, in thick grass, you can let that thing fall in there, get real bound up and whip it out. Generate a reaction strike. You can burn it over the top. Just try to tick the grass tops and rip the grass off, and that's usually when you're gonna get bit. 1/2 ounce, you want something with some flash, and that's what's working for me. Throwing this on a 7.6 medium heavy action rod, 7 3-to-1 I believe gear ratio reel, and 15-pound fluorocarbon. 15-pound fluorocarbon's been the difference maker. If you're not throwing 15-pound test, you're not going to get as many bites. Bait number 2, the good old 6A bomber. You guys probably don't believe me, but this old school bait, nobody throws it, and it still gets bit. You notice something similar to that rattle trap that I was holding? The flash. The flash is the key right now out there. I don't care if it's gold. I don't care if it's silver. But they're wanting something with a little bit of flash. Fishing this bait in a lot of the same areas. Can't throw it through thick grass. Doesn't work. These things come through wood amazing. They come through sparse grass really well, as long as you're not digging the bottom and it's just coming over the tops of it. Shell, grind the bottom real nice. And you want to fish this thing like any old crankbait, but you don't want to go fast. You want to cast it out there and just ease it on back to the boat. We're in no rush. Slow roll that thing, stop it a little bit, give it a couple pops, you know, and you want to really try to get it into the cover as much as possible. Especially with the wood, you're banging it up off the top of brush piles or whatnot. That's what's going to trigger those strikes. The shad aren't big right now. Small profile shad still out there in the lake. So that's why I opt for the 6A bomber. If you got another crankbait that you like to fish, dives about 6 feet, it's in the same size, go for it. A lot of you guys are DT junkies. To me, it's not DT season yet. They're still liking the plastic baits more. Something with a rattle. Throwing that one on a 6.4 medium action rod, super bendy. You don't want nothing too crazy because they don't have too big of hooks on these things. I'm throwing it on a 6 1-to-1 gear ratio reel. And me, I throw almost every crankbait unless I'm fishing around real heavy cover like canals and cypress trees and stuff. I throw every crankbait on about 10-pound test. Get you more bites, the baits get down quicker, and you feel everything. So try that out next time you're out there. Throw it down Kissimmee grass lines too, works real well. Last and not least, probably gonna talk about this bait in every video I do about the Harris chain because it works Monday through Sunday. It works everywhere on shell. It works in brush piles. It works in grass. It works flipping. It works on docks. It works weightless buzzed on the surface. It is the Mag Speedworm. It's the end all be all out there year round. And I only throw the big one because it gets the big bites. Fishing this in all the same areas. We're fishing it in shell, throwing it out there, letting it hit the bottom. Keeping it on the bottom is key, and slow winding it back to the boat. Them fish are gonna come up and they're gonna eat it, I promise you. We're throwing it in brush piles. I like to keep it coming through the brush piles. Keep it coming, keep it coming. Make as many casts as you can. You can hit the brush piles, you can let it sink, you can jiggle it around, you can flutter it over it, but it seems like the bigger fish want that steady retrieve through the brush piles. Same thing as everything else. In the grass, if I'm fishing from 4 foot of water or less, I'm throwing it on a 1/4 ounce weight, reeling it through the grass. You want to make that constant contact. Coming out closer to the edge, if we're at 6 foot of water, I'm gonna put on a 3/8. It's perfect for the edge of the grass and sparse grass. Same thing, cast it out there, let it hit the bottom, reel it through the cover. If it gets hung up, pop it up. If they start eating it when you're trying to pop the grass off of it and it's fluttering down and that's when they're eating it, that's when you start fluttering these worms. But most of the time, it's that steady retrieve is when they're gonna eat that worm. But it's got to be touching the grass. It's got to be touching the shell. It's got to be touching the brush pile. It's got to be touching every cover that you're fishing at all times. And that's how you're going to be successful. 6 foot of water or deeper, probably going to go with a 1/2 ounce, even if it's spread out grass. If it's thicker grass, I might stay with the 3/8. But if it's real spread out, low to the bottom grass, 1/2 ounce. We're going to grind that son of a gun through it. And just keep it coming to the boat. Something that's there's just something about that steady retrieve with this worm. As long as it's hitting cover, you're gonna have success. Rod for this, I use a giant rod, 7-11, 20-pound test, 8 3-to-1 gear ratio reel. I use a 5/0 hook, never pegged the weight, and the broomstick just does the job every time. You penetrate, because a lot of times you'll bomb that thing way out there, and I mean far. And if you get bit on the end of that cast, you're not getting that hook and that fish. And me, I hate nothing more than when I set the hook and it's like I feel like I hit air. So I'm throwing a broomstick. I hope this helped you guys out. These are my 3 main baits I'm leaning on hard right now. And if you do what I told you to do in this video, you're gonna have success. Let me know if you guys like these style of videos. I'm gonna try to keep them coming, stay on top of my stuff, give you guys more content.
I said, damn, it's gonna be a long night.